Alright everybody, I know there's no intro or anything like this. I had some computer issues, but we're going to go with this video kind of from the hip. So, you see there I got my photo resource. I always want you to have a photo resource. And we're going to lay down some whites to help kind of block out some of the background so it's not overwhelming. We want the background to bleed through, to show through. So we're going to go with white. I'm going to take my photo resources, I'll be pointing at it. So we're going to hit just certain areas with white to help kind of block that out and go for the highlights. So I'm using a flat brush, and notice how I'm moving my hand. I'm fanning. I'm moving it back and forth so that I can get that texture of the fur. If you have a smooth surface, you want smoother strokes. But for this, you want to try to get that texture of the fur, so that's what I'm doing. I'm using straight white. I know most of the time I tell you not to use straight white, but this is just an underpainting. So when you do if you're going to paint over something or you're going to prep a surface, you want to just use straight white or what is called a gesso, which is a primer. You can use that. Gesso for blocking out is better because they add a little bit of another element in there so that it's easy to draw on, and it doesn't clog up your marker if it's still a little damp. It's a great tool to use for blocking out areas that you want to block out. I don't have gesso, I have straight white. Both work, just your preference. So I'm going off, I got the photo, it's in front of me, it's taped up so I can reference it visually. And you can see here I'm going over this. Now, because this is acrylic paint, there's going to be a lot of bleed. So even though you paint over it and it seems white, when you look at it closely, you're going to still see what's underneath of it. That's the great thing about acrylic, and also the not so great thing about acrylic. Because you layer the paint, you can get great vivid details. You can get through layering paint, you can get great color by layering that paint, but you have to layer the paint if you want something blocked out. So you can see here it's starting to form already. I am choosing and painting in a manner that I'm giving more form to my dog. You can see around the muzzle, I went with a round edge. Around the eye, it's not like a straight line, it's a little curve. Around the ears as well. And I'm just painting in those areas. And also notice I made a mistake. I couldn't see it when I opaque projected it, but where the head is, it goes back. So I'm filling in that area, and I'll be correcting that area as I go. So even if you make a mistake, there's still ways that you can correct it. You don't have to start over. You can adapt and correct any mistakes that you make. That's also the great thing with painting. You can paint over it and correct your mistakes. There is no eraser, but it's just reworking your items to get it where you want. And I notice I'm going over the same stuff that I already did. It should be dry. And I'm just whiting out those areas so they'll pop more once I put the complementary color to the background on there to get my painting. Now this project is similar to another artist, an Iowa artist that is living today called Mike Dennis. He is a middle school teacher as well. Awesome guy. And this is what he does in a lot of his paintings. He creates a non-objective background of color. You use black or the complementary color to the background to create an interesting composition, and having that background bleed through the foreground. He delves in realism, so he'll airbrush it using realism in his foreground, And then that conflict, that juxtapositioning of color, helps create an intriguing piece of artwork. You see here that I'm just going to go over and intensify some of the white, and then in the next video we're going to go over it with the complementary color. Since it's orange and yellow, we're going to be using blue and purple for the dog. Enjoy!